Mind over matter, overcompensating, overstatements, crookedness relating, the soul's churn in return, mental overstimulation, one word, riveting, it terrors my pilot. Streams that are promised to make seeking less. The Mad Poet Podcast. Still getting used to the change. I've had, it's been Poetry Journal podcast for such a long time. Well, it's the only thing I know, so, but let's go. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, children, friends, supporters, and then some. Hope everybody's doing well today. Having a ball with life. Or I should say, just having a ball in general, especially in this here and now time, space, period in London. And you know where I'm going with this. It's bloody hot in here. It's bloody hot in London right now. And it's great, man. It don't happen often. It don't happen consistent. Really does, but it has been one of those outlier type of years where the weather has been holding out for everybody. So, man, it's been great. But outside of that, getting on this, I suppose you could say, bear with me, getting on this boiling or icy world of ours, we seldom feel screams or silence. The in-betweens, once in a while, where we sit in the warmth, be comfortable. That's it. The sweetest zones. After life is short. After all, life is short. I'm in a great space. As you know, the last episode was called That's My Work, because it technically was about my work. And I suppose I don't really do many episodes to somewhat, speak about what I have going on. Because I suppose I've been taking a lot of time I wanted to really share the platform with new people. I'm introducing my audience to, that sort of thing. And just have them celebrate their successes, their milestones, where they are in their journey pertaining to creating and growing, that type of thing. The good stuff. But yes, like I said, that's my work, was the last one, because it technically was my work. And I wanted to share with people. I've grown a lot in this space, and people that have supported my work or my work resonates with them, along with the people that I share this platform with, whether it's a guest or supporters, or just saluting to people that inspired me, or different things. I think it was important to point out, what people are doing, and sharing. Sharing is important. But yes, it technically was my work, so yeah. A sort of acknowledgement of a special milestone and growth. As you know, I'm big on growth. then we come to another milestone. You know, well, when I say that, I'm just talking about, well, actually, I suppose you could call it another milestone. The primary thing is, of course, the book release, which is Poetry Vent, out now. But to go with that, I had my first, as much as, I have work out there, I've never actually had a book launch. And this was my first technically book launch, technically my first book launch. So I was really pleased to make this be something positive and also people to share with me of sorts. So that was the idea behind where I was coming with it. And it's fair to say, man, I enjoyed myself. And I believe people that shared the space with me, talking to the venue, they enjoy themselves as well. But on top of that, I have to acknowledge celebrations and support, specifically pertaining to the book launch that I had. And it actually was last weekend. I want to give a special salute to friends, family, supporters that came to the book launch. It was a great space. I was elated by the great communal space I witnessed. That's what I was thinking of it. We all were appreciating what each other had to share, give. Everybody was, coming together. Hence, communal, as I describe it. Everyone that attended, friends and families, all supporters. It was great to have you with me. I'm aware that quite a few people have never seen me perform before that day. Specific, yeah, pretty much. And it was a privilege to have you all present. On top of that, a lot of people have been sharing their appreciation for the book. I'm also very thankful for that as well. That means a great deal to me. So I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you all, including people that did not get to make it. The majority contacted me before or after the event, and we've, come to an understanding. So, yeah, pretty much. I understand, people have their situations just like I did. So it was never, a negative light to begin with. But I appreciate everyone just sharing, what they have going on and, reasons behind, not being there. But either way, despite, that, it was great, and I enjoyed myself. My first one, so of course, there is no sample size, but at the same time, the standard, I enjoyed looking at the standard and what, you know, um, people, the effort people were making to be there. Finally, salute to Dalston Lounge, the Dalston Lounge, for having me. It was great. It was great. Such a great space. And that's why I really wanted to mention them in my, discussion today. Great space and a great host. The owner of the venue, and I asked personally for him to host for me. So, man, you know, I was really positive about the whole night. So I just wanted to, of course, as you know, They have their own, that venue, Dawson Lounge. If you're in London, they have their own night, open mic night. It's called Free Mind, every first Thursday, every second Wednesday of the month. I recommend you check them out. They're doing great stuff right now. And it's a hub for creatives. People keep coming back, new people keep showing up. So I just want to, show my appreciation. But yes, I recommend you check them out. And with that being said, let's get into what I really wanted to just speak about in this episode. But first things first, start with a piece. And like I said to everybody, cheers. I just wait to do that. I had these gadgets and I haven't used them, so I had to throw that one in there. Here we go. This is my quote from a piece for the day or for the week, for the episode, you choose. To speak it, you have to live it. A language like the life liveth. Looking to be as the talent, I seek nothing but a brain gift where I can tell the world of the hidden cauldron like a spawn in the room. For my enemies comes in many forms like a brain flute. Even the illiterate deserves a pulpit where the fragments of the mind may elicit. Talking in nuances like the trance comes with a counterfeit. Speaking words to the birds until they know my word. So that's what I wanted to share today. And of course, questions. I suppose I would start by asking, do you do it? Do you do for self? Two things. Do you do for self? Do you do for other people? Like purposefully go out your way for self as well as other people. And the reason why I suppose I ask this question specifically, these two, I would argue that we all have a skewed perception of either. It's almost like an oversubscription to one side or the other. You either have, in general, you either have people that do for self, but not so much for others. Or you have people that do a lot for others, but not so much for self. It's a tricky one sometimes. And I would say outside of it, the only people that really perhaps have a bit more of a balance between the two are people that are aware that perhaps they primarily do for self or for others more than anything else, but in time they grow to a space where you want to do for others or in other situations do for self, you know. Which leads me to my next question. Because at the end of the day, if you're a type of person that, you're overly subscribed to one side, what's missing? Balance. That's the elephant in the room, right? So how do you maintain balance? And I suppose not necessarily, or should I say, not to this micro situation, but how about the macro? How about on the larger scale? How do you balance for life? How do you find balance in life? You know, so in terms of your intentions, it doesn't necessarily be in a double-headed sword. So by trying to do for self more or doing for others, you don't then rock the boat and, you know, become unstable on both sides or just one, where you flip the extreme to the other. So instead of being for self as I used to be, and now I'm for others, but I'm neglecting myself, I would argue balance, right? How do you maintain balance? It's a tricky discipline. Key word, discipline. So, the next question, do you subscribe to a certain discipline? Not, well, I would say, again, it's the same thing. The micro, then the macro. General discipline. You have to have some semblance of discipline, I would say, in general. It's me, my laptop. But also on the larger scale, you have to have discipline. I would argue they're just as important. So, in essence, but in this case, if you're being specific, I would say that you need a specific culture for discipline, whether we're speaking, well, let's just say it like this, pertaining to success, to growth, to anything you want to, you're trying to do, to create for yourself, culturally speaking. You know, I think about these things. Let's go into it. Let's think about it. Think about it. Testing, trial and error. How do you prepare for a test if you don't do mock exams? How do you discover something new if you don't experiment? If you don't explore, if you don't ask questions, if you don't research, if you don't find out? Because when you break it down, I would argue most of these things, they come with a certain discipline. It's a, or even flip it on its head, it's a certain discipline to be about these things, you know, and discipline brings consistency to where you can actually elevate, you know. How do you discover, well, pardon me, that's not where I was. Lost my chain of thought, but where I was gonna go next is self-mastery. I believe a certain subscription to a level of self-mastery is it's imminent. It's imminent. So much so that you could say it's a rite of passage. You know, it's a rite of passage. You have to do it. You have to do it. I say this because, you know, when I was thinking about this, and when I think about, you know, talk about growth, being more, let's just say, being about something, achievement, achieving success, I would argue it all comes back to form of discipline. And knowing what you want for yourself, knowing what you want in life, or what your path is, it becomes a sort of subscription. What do you subscribe to? What resonates with you? You know, what excites you pertaining to frequency, you know? And I suppose that's the only way to lead to a point where you love what you do. You enjoy your path, and work is no longer work, you know. So many different things, but how disciplined are you? It's like they say, you know, it's great to achieve, but can you keep achieving? Can you be consistent? You know, outside of the social rewards, can you maintain? Can you do it again? Can you show up for yourself? Can you show up for others? You know, in my opinion, I believe that's the only way to somewhat. Well, let's put it like this. A dream is a dream. That's the transition from making a dream, not only a dream, but something that materializes, a form of transmutation, if you will. It's a powerful thing. However, you have to dream it first. Nothing starts without a dream. So I suppose where I'm getting to is the fact that the dream is only the beginning, you know? So to all the dreamers out there, listen, it's all on you. I would say don't limit yourself, you know? Keep going. Don't stop it. Don't you dare. Yeah, but as I always say, thanks to everyone, and I appreciate the journey, the support, and so many different things. It's been great. It's been great, and it's still, to me, I think I still got a long way to go, and it's just the beginning. So, but at the same time, they say you have to appreciate the journey, and it's just a milestone, but it's one that meant a lot. So keep on dreaming, and as I said, you know, to dream is only the beginning. Thanks so much. Take care.
Mind over matter, overcompensating, overstatements, crookedness related, a soul's churn in return, mental overstimulation, one word, riveting, it terrors my pilot. Streams that are promised to make seeking less,